Mountain, come from the dust till dawn, as we rise up every.
Bless good night, ladies and gentlemen. Bless good night, brothers and sisters, family and friends. As you come up, I just encourage you to share the live. This is Sunday. We just for a Sunday episode of Real Talk. So as you come up, let me talk a little bit. We're talking about me today. Let me talk a little bit about you today. Let me talk a little bit about Trinidad and Tobago today. And the mindsets are where we are and the direction we go in.
And if you squeeze me, you go feel the love. We are one people under the sun. One nation under the law. So who feel the black? Who feel the black? Who feel the white? Who feel the white? I don't know. But it's better tomorrow night. Who feel the wrong? Who feel the wrong? Who feel the right? Who feel the right? Come and go.
So often, but I wanted to know that I don't listen to a diverse amount of music. Today, I want to touch on a very, very serious topic, which Hans Divine opened the door Tuesday. So I had to touch back on that because, brothers and sisters, we have to get this thing right. You can't blaspheme against God and believe in a plain thing. And when you sit down and you listen to some of the conversation going on, somebody playing the fool here. So we the people, we must understand what we doing.
Lucifer, you can't touch me. Furthermore, take your filthy hands off me from my lips. The blood of Jesus over your family. The blood of my lips. This is what the prayer says in the morning. The blood of Jesus over your family. The blood of my family.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I just come up to have a conversation tonight, right? I prayed over on the next side, but it come and conk out. So either way we go, we'll get back to that. But I must say bless good night to Paul Sammy. Sammy, bless good night to my UNC, my coalition family. Bless good night to my TPP family. Bless good night to Trinidad and Tobago because we all are family. Bless good night to our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean and the world in extension. Bless good night to you. I prayed on the next side, but it never had nothing like too much prayer. So Heavenly Father is your son, Ruben, and Father, as we have this conversation tonight, Father, I ask that you have your way. We give you all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory, and we lift you up. We say Jesus Christ is Lord, and you are worthy to be praised. So Father, I say a special prayer for each and every one of our brothers and sisters upon tonight's Real Talk Show. Father, I ask that you guide and you cover and you protect their going outs and their coming ins. Father, I ask that you cover their businesses, their homes, and their families. Lord, I just want to say a special prayer for our government. I lift up our Honorable Prime Minister. I say a special prayer for a Member of Parliament for Point Fortin and Library. And I pray for the entire government. Father, I just ask that you just continue to take charge. I pray that the truth continue to be spoken. I pray that our citizens be blessed. Father, I ask that you just open doors that needs to continue to be open and you continue to close doors that must be closed. Father, we thank you, we worship you, we exalt your name, and we say Jesus Christ is Lord. Yes, and you are worthy to be praised. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends, all a blessed good night. Bless good night. But tonight, we got to talk. Tonight, we had to do some talking here. Because something that I noticed on the Facebook page, I noticed I'm having a particular conversation back and forth with a couple of elderly people. And I having a back and forth with a man who playing bright with his wife. Thank you. Because I noticed there's certain posts that the gentleman he attacking. And let me see if I could find one of these things and then. Because apparently he wanted to be famous. So I can help you to be famous, man. Let me help you be famous. Aha. This is Cleveland Alexis. Cleveland Alexis and for peace sake tonight, I ain't gonna call you my name because the two of them married. But let me tell Cleveland Alexis something and the woman something. Yeah, all they wouldn't do, all they wouldn't take my page to practice all your folly. Because don't feel that they don't have people watching the pattern in how all of us come on this page. If you're coming to give your political debate, no problem with that. We about that. We always down for a conversation. But here where you're not doing and here where you don't have the authority to do. I see Sammy, bless good night, everybody. You wouldn't take my page. Continue playing political games to connect with other people's wife while you're talking shoppiness. So Cleveland Alexis, try and fix your relationship with your family, please. Don't try to pick up woman on my page. Because I hope Cleveland Alexis notice that since I pull your card, you and the woman card, you notice the woman stop comment. It's days now she ain't pop a comment. But you continuing. No problem, brother. So it seems to me like I hit a nail on the head there. Ladies and gentlemen, bless good night, Freeport in the building. Freeport, big up yourself. Only here what it is I want to talk about. I notice we have a set of people playing games here. So I think I could go back in my category a little bit tonight based on the door that Hans Devine opened up. Tuesday gone, Hans Devine utilized biblical scriptures and spoke to his PNM colleagues in the crowd. And on top of that, they called that a proper sermon. Now, my responsibility here is to always keep it real. It's about elderly lady. About 3 of them keep coming up on my page. UNC Advocate, big up yourself, big up yourself. Continue coming up on my page. Let me explain something to you. The fact that you're up on my page telling me that you have how much 16 or 17 grandchildren, that is not my business. Then my next conversation with you is, your whole problem is that I, as an African, I'm not supporting the PNM. And in your mindset, you continue to go with the same old devil PNM doctrine, that the PNM is an African party. Miss, tonight I continue to ask you, if the PNM is an African party, the last African prime minister that the PNM had, did he hand over to African? Did he hand over to East Indian? Or did he hand over to Chinese? Because the last want-to-be prime minister that we have, he was barely East Indian and nowhere close to African. So the fight that you're on my page fighting, that you find I as an African supposed to stand with you and your PNM. This is after your same PNM left the schools dormant, left everything to mash up. Roads, employment, and the only argument that Trinidadians, especially African PNM, could argue is that the UNC hate the African population because they closed down CPEP. And if all you feel I lying, if all you feel is joke, if all you feel this whole thing is a plain thing, I telling you later, mad people in this country. People talking progress. I see people put up one child past 20 subjects. In Trinidad here, who passed 8, who passed 10, everybody saying congratulations to the children, their grandchildren. Don't tell my uncle Lex call me. He said, even by the Legion family doing good. I say, well, where you saying, uncle, talk to me. He said, by one of your niece get 8 subjects. The next one get 8 subjects. And the next one get 8 subjects. I say, uncle, what you saying? When you say 8, you're saying 8. He said, now, out of the 3 of them, only one get 2s. And that one get 3 2s and the rest in 1s. The next 2 is 8. I say, what, uncle? So when I listen to what it is going on, obviously, we have some generations that would not be interested in cutting grass. We have some generations that obviously would not be interested in URP. We have some generation that would not be interested in forest reserve. So could we get that part out of the way? Move on with the conversation. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. But I want to run something for you. What African people advocating in this country. Listen, the kind of conversation these people are talking loudly and proudly. And me, asking me, Irvin Felix, who already identified, but you could talk or you could say all you want. The PNM was given a fair chance. They were given an opportunity. They ran this country for decades and they ran this country to the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves in a building back process. So if you sit down in your corner and you don't want to give your member of parliament, I go continue to call out Mr. Raymond Ernesto Kiza. I will continue to thank him for his support. his endorsement, his encouragement, and all that he's implemented in Point 14 because it is needed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been sitting back with decades of neglect, decades of shortcomings, and then a lot of these elderly brothers and sisters coming up on my page, and they totally displeased with this thing on my hold on. I'm trying to find a video here. Right. I'm trying to find a video here for later here with Doctrine Rich now.
Oh, all right. So, be given out for the parents and them to buy the books. The grandparents, the grandfathers, everybody to buy the books. Where it is going? Or you going at the little and give them Hoover, Safari, and these places. What's going on with the East-West corridor? What's going on with CPEC all your week? What's going on with traffic all your week? Oh, God, this government. Oh, you pre-meditate on the African people. Or you pre-meditate on the African people. Hello, guys.
Sorry. Thank you very much, Paul Sammy. You're on point. I wanted to listen to what I'm saying here tonight. The conversation in Trinidad and Tobago is that I am a late bottom African because I am not supporting the PNM and what the PNM have to offer. So our responsibility tonight is Sunday, the 17th of August. I have a couple of old ladies who support PNM. My responsibility is to explain to them, miss, let me explain something to you. None of all you. Listen what I'm telling all you. Always PNM offer getting 10 days. Always PNM offer running goes gang. None of all you was more PNM than my mother. None of all you was more PNM than some of them women and them I see in Point 14 here. Today, my mother, you cannot stand up. Thank you very much. You cannot stand up and have a conversation about PNM and PNM endorsement because my mother lived to see what PNM did to their own people. So don't look at me as a young person and think that I just here having conversation without experience, without being somebody who was drastically misinformed and was under the impression, just like what they're selling in Trinidad, African are nothing because Indian have. African are nothing because Syrian have. African are nothing because Chinese have. African are nothing because African who actually was in authority make sure and did not implement anything for African to evolve out of nothing. Now, mind me, it have some Africans who weasel out of it. You see the Africans and them who pull square early and say, you see me, not me and this PNM thing, I don't want no part of it. All you watch through all the community. Those tend to be the Africans. Don't mind me. Me here just talking to you because me and nothing to talk about. Me here just talking to you about progress and upliftment and wanting better. I hear about it because I live in it. At one point in time, and I was one of the people, watch me. I listen to all kind of conversation all over the place. You want to know about Irvin Felix? Make a phone call to your family, them who used to live or who live in New York City. Find out the type of activities that we used to practice when we was misinformed. And coming out of that make me understand. I participate and had conversation with men, and a lot of we practice rogue activities, embarrassing activities, activities that would have your whole family embarrassed because you stand up on the corner selling drugs. You know the normal thing in Trinidad and Tobago, jump through some window, thank God I never practice robbing nobody. That was never my hustle. My hustle was drugs, selling drugs. And I take the opportunity where my mother set for me in our next man land, stand up on the people corner and feed my own black people drugs. So I understand how far black people could go to get resources, to pretend that they're supporting black people. This is exactly what I am seeing in Trinidad and Tobago. Now my responsibility is to break down to some of these Africans in Trinidad and Tobago. If all you don't take the time to invest in all your children, all you want to be in all the PNM meeting, all you want to be in all the ghost gang, when it's time to support culturally, all you know is nothing about Trinidad and Tobago culture. All you don't even know African history based on the uproar when the statement was made that African names come from the slave master. So all you don't even know basic African history. So we can get that part out of the way. So if you as an African want to continue being dunce, you as an African want to continue being used by a couple of Africans who being used by God know who, that is on you. You don't take time with your children, so your children ain't doing good in school. So your responsibility as a big woman and a big man in Trinidad and Tobago is to stand up and make a fundamental statement, ladies and gentlemen, make a drastic. I never was on the drugs thing. Nah. I wasn't using drugs. I used to sell. Make a big statement like that the East Indian community, listen to the statement this lady making. The East Indian community in Trinidad and Tobago targeted the Africans in Trinidad and Tobago. And listen where this lady put Africans in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, when you don't listen to this, I want you to sit back and think about Africans and all the PNM Africans who telling you that UNC and all the Indians in UNC does watch down on Africans. I'm going to run this audio for you to hear how some Africans look at their own self. Listen to this.
How this government wicked so all right, so it have the check and them supposed to be given out for the parents and them to buy the books. The grandparents, the grandfathers, everybody to buy books. Where it is going. All you going and delete it and only give them Hoover, Safari and these places. What going on with the East-West corridor? What going on with secret all your wicked? What going on with Geography all your wicked? Oh God, this government wicked. Oh, all you meditate on the African people. All you meditate on the African people to send them on to Papa. So if something come like COVID now, all you say kill out all the African people and them and leave them stay there and there. Why all your wicked slow? All right, Roger and Roger. Okay, the next one name. Jamari, wherever from a building, Joshima from a building 7. All you say vote, yellow is the code, yellow is the note, yellow is the door, yellow is everything. But yet still, all you work so hard and they give the people from South San Fernando contract the power wash Maloney more. So you cannot nobody here. All right, you cannot nobody.
You know it's funny, eh? It's funny that just Tuesday, ExxonMobil signed a brand new contract with Trinidad and Tobago government. Siotio and Faris and the PNMIs jump out of the skin. And they predominantly explaining to people in Trinidad and Tobago that that deal was originally discussed under the PNM. This Maloney Washdown building, this could not be one of them deal too. This Maloney Washdown building that you're trying to incite the young men and them who understand that they're fed up living poverty. They're fed up see the mother and the sisters and the aunts and the brothers go to meeting and come back home hungry. They're fed up see the friends being slaughtered. They're fed up see the friends fight down their own friends. So here we're going on, fellas. We got to divert from the PNM because sticking with the PNM, especially up in Maloney, it ain't have no profit. It ain't that. It can be that the PNM government, they don't cut that deal to wash down them all.
Could do that. All right, we done see. So that is not bubble. Yeah? That is not bubble. All you can't stop the war. That's not a ball. Or you investigate that Harry Potter. Apart that, you is the prime minister.
No, it's no, it's a one and it's a two thing, right? One thing is, if you're trying to embarrass somebody, the least you could do is learn to pronounce the name. So, miss, I'm good with that day. But ladies and gentlemen, I just run that to show you the mindsets of some of our African brothers and sisters in Trinidad and Tobago. I told all these years, I've been telling all you, I listen to a lot of our brothers and them talk in Trinidad and Tobago. It have African people. Indian people not on them, you know. Indian people not no way on them, whether what. The Indian people don't even know them. First, them not on progress. The average person in the country don't even know them. But when you give them an opportunity to make a contribution, the contribution, the deal must have been. Thank you very much, Robert, because if they're trying to tell me Exxon deal is that, although I know Munilal and my member of parliament, Mr. Raymond Onesto Kiza, I know them as heavy hitters. I don't know, especially Mr. Raymond Onesto Kiza. I don't know we're dealing with heavy hitters. And something that we already clarified, something that we already clarified is that no governments wanted to do business with the PNM government. Guyana turned down that forthwith. Well, obviously, Exxon and Shell pack their bag and drag. Rowley and them is mad people. No. My money can't continue to jump up in steel ban here. America pull up there and lead them with the LNG. Look ahead, fix. First, nobody wanted to do business with the former administration. Now, mind me, that is not what I really hear about tonight. You know. Tonight, I hear about explaining to you how some African people so inferior in their own skin. You see, when I see the lion pastor, you know how I know he inferior in his own skin? All are we working by the same radio station, same boss. So everybody intention them days is Aisha Wells, Sharon Felix, which are they again, boy? Myself. I think Sharon used to come on in the morning. Somebody I'm missing there, you know. And then Pastor Google go come on some at 12 o'clock and he go jog till 4. I go run 4 to 6. And from 4 to 6 is Aisha Wells. So Pastor Google before me. So when he done, I drop in he down to Sando. And I see the same Pastor Google, Pastor Google, you know, sit down in the front seat of my car and pull out the phone. Aisha Wells come to work to make she day work. Now I just shoot my little bag with Aisha Wells. Aisha Wells thing is entertainment. When it's time to talk politics, she talks politics. But the whole thing is, in her mindset, is entertainment and making sure that people enjoy themselves. And I pick up the same format too. I will give you proper debate with entertainment. So, all right, no problem. This man, Aisha Wells, come to work and start she program 6 o'clock. And this man going down the road. Now, I done beating he back by figures, eh? Sharon beating he back. He's the only person have 4 hours. Everybody else have 1 and 2 hours. I think Aisha had some of the days she had 3 hours. And that man pull out the phone and call one of the viewers. And make the viewer, take the viewer a blog. And tell the viewer Aisha Wells lying on the program. Make the viewer calling Aisha Wells live on the radio and collapse the girl program today. African to African. Now mind me. Let me show you how dangerous that was. You see, after that day, the very next, no, matter of fact, a line. While we going down the road, he pull out the phone and he do that. When I drop him in front of your house, I let him know straight. This is the last time you would be sitting down in my car, partners. He say, what? And I leave it be. And I go on about my business. The very next day, I never talk to he. He never talked to me. Eventually, everybody pick up in the office, in the studio. What going on with you and that man? And you used to drop you every day. I let them know straight. I say, let he explain to all you. Let he explain to all of the type of activities that he practicing. Now, mind me, Let me just talk about African to African. Apparently, this sister only seen CPEP, URP, and Forest Reserve. African to African, Iowa George is African. Iowa George make the investment to open up a radio station, despite the fact that the years of garbage that come off of the radio station. Because I sit down and listen some type of activities come off of there and say, Jesus Christ. But Iowa's appointment, you get the opportunity, when you're going and make your contribution. Because my thing is, if them have been preaching PNM for the longest, the views big like that. And when Iowa called me, I said, boy, I'm sure I could get the UNC people to come in and the views on them go be big because TC and Heavy done contributing already. So when I come in, we go fatten it up a little more. Google never was supposed to leave it, but he noticed he couldn't reckon with TC and Heavy and Felix being on the same station. So what the Cub Scouts and them does do, pack up and jump ship, thinking loyally the man business to collapse. Now listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Iowa is an African. Iowa make the investment. Iowa left his business. Google and them had the opportunity to either build the man business or break down the man business. Now mind me, Google and his friends real bring down the man business. The evidence is clear. The evidence is clear. Since the last time Irvin Felix sat down on 91.9, up to now, nobody has walked in to actually blow away the figures on them that we put up. TC and Heavy and them put up some amazing figures too. Aisha Wells put up some amazing figures. Pastor Google put up some figures too, but not by himself. Only when he had company. Everybody else could do it, just sit down by themselves. African to African. When I see that, I say, okay then. Okay then. So obviously, apparently Africans, we don't care about Africans. Irvin, why you say that? That's all right then. There's a next one that's a she head ban up in town. Jennifer Frederick. She's the biggest African historian that have in the country. The only thing you cannot get from Miss Jennifer Frederick is actually African history. You can't get that from her. She could explain to you Camille Robinson wages. She could tell you about Stuart Young. Jesus Christ. Don't bounce your head and talk Miss Kamala Posad Bissessa, and please don't go wrong her and mention Watson Duke. Please don't do that, because that could cost you about 7-8 weeks. Stand up on the same spot. The only thing that they don't do is actually speak African history. Emancipation Day, you could tune in by them, you'll get a little clipping of information that you already have. This is African to African. Eh? Why I'm telling you here tonight is African feeding African information. Eh? Google older than me, Jennifer older than me, all of them. And all of them older than me. African to African. The doctrine I learned from them over the years is that the Indian man is the enemy. Am I supposed to live by that? Well, look at the answer that. Eh? Am I supposed to live by that? The Indian man is my enemy. The Indian man owe me his life. Matter of fact, he owe me everything that he have. Because apparently, the Mahasabha, the Hindu religion, them didn't have no credit union, they didn't have nothing. Them just sit back and the PNM build them. That is what's going on there. So all the Indian in Trinidad and Tobago, whether they're successful or not, they owe. He's wrong, Google giving wrong. All the Indian owe African something in this country. So now me, I had to take my perspective now and bring it down into reality. No, Joel, what happened? I was supposed to do a live yesterday, but I didn't end up doing it yesterday. So I said, let me shoot a blog today. Let me shoot a little blog today because I'm watching what's going on. Why are thinking that? I saw a post come out from a former councillor in Point 14, Leslie Changfong. So today I said, let me shoot a blog. But I really want to get that piece of information in the Bible. But before I go to that, let me talk. So I'm just talking about how we as Africans as real look out for each other and how we love each other. Now, mind me, with my own 2 eyes, I get the opportunity when the next man country play the fool. Some go tell you I get deported by them and their business because since I have been back home, I went to more countries than them even go to. Because some of them ain't going away. They're not motivating the children to do nothing because in their life, the only thing that evolves is PNM. The only thing that rotates, PNM have a whole we should say a whole orbit. We have a whole PNM like a whole planet by itself. And the supporters, them like them in a whole planet by themselves. No matter how high the murders is, great is the PNM. No matter how much people or how much schools flood out, great is the PNM. No matter how much millions borrow to fix the road, great is the PNM. No matter how much investment companies that have in Trinidad and Tobago, whether it be religious or not, great is the PNM. The only thing that the PNM don't do is actually support the people of Trinidad and Tobago. The only thing the PNM supporters does do is only support the PNM. The PNM supporter, it had none of you could come to tell me that all love all the children. Not one of you could come to tell me all you have any respect for your family. Not one of you could come to tell me all you love Trinidad and Tobago. You know why I say that? All you sit down and all you entertain Jennifer Frederick, all you entertain Google, all you entertain Juliet Davy, while all these African frontliners, and he said all of them, all these African frontliners who had the opportunity to speak, to educate, to uplift, bring some type of value to the African man and woman and children in this country. All they didn't do it. All they didn't do it. All they did not do it. Young African, we left to fend for ourselves. We left to fend for ourselves. You know who the help we more? The police. Because when a misinformed African act up, is the police had to come and gun down that. Is the police had to come and shoot up the place to bring a little peace in our neighborhood. And it's sad to say that all these young people, all of them, misinformed. And when you check the history background, everybody had the same story. Everybody know about politics. They wanna tell them about politics. If you go out the road and you vote for our next party, you come home in my house. And they're watching their cousin with 7 and 8 subjects, and she's still at a sleep with somebody who less qualified than she to get a work to bring home food. They want to do all your own people. They want to do we. And only take all the blame, only throw it on all the culture. African to African, only had the opportunity, only had the power, the pen in all their hand. The Africans and them who stand for righteousness, only kick them to the side. Only kick them to the side. You imagine we went from an era, whether PNM or UNC, whether PNM or UNC, because you're not talking politics in Trinidad and Tobago, PNM and UNC, right? Whether PNM or UNC, there was a time whether you know somebody who is a PNM or is a UNC, everybody on the two sides had no problem telling you some of the best politics, conversation and debate they get was between Mr. Bazir Pandey and Mr. Patrick Manning. Everybody, you're not the only person, and the only time you couldn't say that was when Rowley was in office. When Rowley was in office, the African PNM couldn't even say thank you to Brian Manning. But then thank God that they didn't say thank you to Brian Manning, because look, we live to see Brian Manning went against his father's own history. When we sitting down and we talking, they'll come to tell you personally, listen, they'll come to tell you, don't bother with Irvin and them. UNC, corrupt. Now hear this, when you ask for a breakdown, they're personally telling you about Munilal, they're telling you about Ravi Ratiram, they're telling you about everybody who they could talk about. I hear them mumbling about Kiza, they're talking about Mr. Clyde Elder, they're talking about Miss Khadija Amin. Every time I say Anil Roberts is a problem. The question Well, matter of fact, me asking a question. The statement that are going to make, I hope that it reach them in time. Keith Scotland he's a part of the PNM. Marvin Gonzalez. All those folks, all of them has been part of the PNM. All they had lawyers, all they had every single thing. Just the other day when PNM was in office, the Speaker of the House was a PNM. You know? All they had the Speaker of the House, all they in charge of the budget, in charge of the country, in charge of national security and education. And all they couldn't find one skilled person to have a conversation about EMBD. You wait after 9 years and 8 months to come back to explain to me, while you was in power, your responsibility to do prosecution. All they even take money to drag an Auditor General from Trinidad and Tobago straight to the Privy Council. You know? And still lost. You know? And still lost. So we watching a party publicly that continue to identify itself as an African party. They can't win a case. Factually, they corrupt. And on top of that, the supporters is under the impression that the highest contribution that their family could make, ladies and gentlemen, all you listen to what I'm telling all you and not run the audio for you. We have African people who supporting the PNM. The majority of them is under the impression that the only contribution that their family could make in this country is CPEP, URP, and Forest Reserve. Bless good night, everybody. And I am saying, are we listening to the type of results that came out from the school system this year? To the especially the African PNM, because they like so much a racist conversation. All you notice the type of results some of all your children and grandchildren bring home this year. I see Ms. Gasby Dolly come out now and talking. I said that big boy talk about the education, not the education system, miss. It's the type of pressure people was under. It's thank God that the PNM lost the election. So what happened is that Trinidad and Tobago get back hope. People come to understand that the oil refinery just going to open. So I have a hope that I could be a mechanical engineer. I have a hope that I could be an electrical engineer. I have a hope that I could be a geologist because that come back into value again. And while we having all this big boy talk, we also have enough sense to discuss CPEP too. All the grass we have to cut down, no problem. Grass go cut. But our responsibility is not to accept having somebody publicly working, and you could call the money chum change for chum change. Eventually, that person will turn to a criminal. Because it makes no sense having a man working for 6 years, collecting a salary offer that he's going to work Monday to Friday like he permanent some way. Collecting a salary, but if one of your family falls sick, you can't get a loan, you can't do nothing. And pity you're working that work and living on squatting land. So then you come like you're non-existent. Your life is of no value. CPEP does done work for small money already. And you publicly on social media as an African, publicly, you know, explaining to the world that the Indian population in Trinidad and Tobago fighting down African people because the government won the election, which is the United National Congress, with the coalition of interest. And in the mid-year budget, while digging through paperwork, you come to realize it's corruption and ghost gang taking place here. So the UNC government with the coalition of interests have a responsibility to sort the corruption out. Brothers and sisters, the DPP had the case right now. Not UNC send the case to the DPP. Not Miss Kamala Prasad Bisesa or the local government minister, not Khadija Amin, who send the case to the DPP. The magistrate send the case to the DPP. Because the information that they actually was debating in this case contradicts itself. The same PNM government that tell you that they were fighting corruption went against the same 2017 procurement that they procured in the parliament. The conversation was to make sure that contractors don't continue running. Faris explained for 9 years they didn't went before parliament to procure money for CPEP. So then it is comfortable to say that for Rowley, who full term. It's like they break all the rules. It's like they break all the rules. So my responsibility tonight, I just want to explain to brothers and sisters, especially the African population, to all my East Indian brothers and sisters who are up here tonight, bless good night. Because we have some Syrian partner, to all bless good night. The Chinese people, bless good night. Bless good night to everybody on the whole, because you know the slogan here is here, every creed and race finds an equal place. And may God bless our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Irvin Felix. And again, over the years, when I was a younger fella, I could comfortably tell you this because I'm out of that era. I was misinformed. And when you're misinformed, you tend to practice activity. Of America. Now, Freeport, you call me back. Let me explain how this is. Going to the United States of America and having the opportunity to be in our next man land. I found nothing more sensible to do rather than send me to school and everything, you know. Done a certificate, but at the same time, you know where us go. So I end up on the streets. Ending up on the streets, part of gang thing. And you're part of the whole gang movement. Reality comes when it's time to go to prison. And I'm 100%. When reality steps in, is you alone goes to prison. And guess who has left to have to come to visit you? Either your girl or your mother. Your girl will start off to come, but then based on the amount of time you have, you figure you out and that do well. Right? And then your mother. Freeport, you call me back. I explain it out there. Right? And your mother. So I was left with the harsh reality. Because part of my complaint was, I didn't grow up with my father. Okay. So after being in jail, I get to understand how much people didn't really grow up with a father. And then coming out from jail, get to realize how much people successful and didn't have their father. I wasn't studying that before. And this part of my conversation was we grew up poor. We really did grow up poor. Thing wasn't bright. So I said, well, all right, no thing. And I diverted to that. But ladies and gentlemen, the time does come where you can't continue with that kind of vibes. We've been made the for the night, but joy comes in the morning. And I had to really actually fall back. And God bring the right set of people in my life. Expose me to the right set of people. I mean, my wife being one, I meet people like Miss Rose. Plenty of people I meet all over the place in different parts of Trinidad, different parts of the Caribbean. And then I experienced some personal thing after nearly losing my life in gun war in foreign. Then I come back to Trinidad and Tobago and nearly lose my life on work. That's a story on its own. It wasn't a violent thing, was the boat went adrift and we was heading to Africa and boat could have capsized, but God keep me alive for the 4 days and keep the bow facing the wave for the 4 days. So we end up getting rescued. Again, thank God for that. And with all of that, my mind always telling me, because I remember the captain crying on that boat. I remember engineer, everybody coasting on that boat. And at one point in time, and I had to be the strong man because I know personally, my mother always just tell me, Irvin, we not lucky, we have to work hard to get everything. We have to work hard to get everything. So when we end up in that position, I tell them, fellas, I say, I'm tell you something. We out here on full insurance. Excuse. If something go wrong with we family is going to be fully compensated. My family, we not so lucky, but we have to work for everything. My children, them have to work hard to get everything that they get by. So to reach home, we reaching home. And I remember the captain watching me like, by you, something really wrong with your head, you know. I said, Captain, reach home, you have to reach home. Brothers and sisters, let me explain something to you. Over the years in this country and dealing with different young people, doing different activities, they have no conversation, especially when it comes to the former administration and the structure that they say they set. There's no legal avenue that they try to explain to me and my family that we didn't utilize. One of the conversations was organized, put your thing on paper, put your documents on paper, and you come in. Remember when Netco did no boss and come into Netco, and Netco will break it down there, and you just sit down and show Netco your vision, and Netco will lend you the money for your business. I remember me and my wife sit down because we used to work at the original barbecue hotel in San Fernando, and 2 hours we get married, 2 hours we left. We live in Point 14. But I was at one point in time, and I was singing cook by the barbecue hut. And chicken is nice. My wife didn't know the season, so we decided to open our own barbecue place. Sit down, put everything on paper. Ladies and gentlemen, we even put down to the worst week if you make money. When I went in my Netco and had the conversation, the man inside my Netco watched me in my face and he said, Irvin, the idea sounding good enough. And yes, sounding real good, and he keep asking me questions about the idea. Stupid me at that point in time and under the impression, trusting her, and I continuing to regurgitate my idea with me and my wife put on black and white. Suffice to be so, the afternoon, when by the time the meeting done, the man tell me he can't help me. And within 2 weeks, about 7 different barbecue places spring up in Point 14. Within 2 weeks, we're talking about the same company. Connected from the same company, you know, because everybody know everybody in Point. The same company that tell me they couldn't lend me the money. About 7 different barbecue places, and let me tell you something. All of them with our way. All of them with our way. Because why you didn't come up with the formula? It have people up to now. It have people right now in Point 14. Some in San Fernando. That does address me as the barbecue man. Some people know me as Melon Man. But some people just call me Real Talk, some just call me Shady Life. Because I do a lot of different things. I see gypsum man. I do a lot of different activities. But watching the type of treatment that we receive over the years. Again, Ms. Paula Gopi-Schoon from Point 14 explained to people just the other day when the election was going on. She said $27 billion was spent in local and in small, and micro businesses. With a list of people, obviously, that $27 billion that this government had to go and investigate. Who received that support? Me telling you, Ms. Paula corrupt. But who received that support? When all they went on the business registry and exempt thousands of business and small businesses, all they exempt from the business registry. And the people like myself who have small business, we never get no money from it. So then who did you actually invest $27 billion in? And continuing to make excuses. But when the African Party in power, for some strange reason, they tend to verbalize a lot about investment. They tend to talk a lot about development. But when you have the opportunity to have a vehicle, drive to Trinidad and Tobago before the UNC read a budget. Drive through Separia and change since the last time UNC was there. Point 14 West, Labrina State. Drive through before UNC read a budget. And you will understand the condition that Trinidad and Tobago is actually in. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Bless Felix. Bless to all the listeners. and share it live and tell one, tell all that Brother Felix is on Sunday night to give us our dinner before we go to bed.
Yes, man.
So I hear you're talking about 28 million US or something like that.
Yeah, 27 million, she said. 27 million US.
Yeah.
27 billion, not million, billion.
Yeah, but I want to ask you a question, Brother Felix, right?
Talk to me.
When you see she don't give her the market, right?
Yeah.
Go and buy she a vegetable. Actually, when the $26 million scanning machine for the scrap iron machine industry to make the scrap iron business more efficient with that $26 million US.
Thank you.
And when the second question to ask her, say you want to know that the bag factory the Chinese get in Point Lisas, how much bag they carry on the airplane, and how good revenue we get, what is the revenue stream from that investment?
Yeah.
Right? And we will ask her that when she make the duty free, right, for the port authority and give all these certain concession to businessmen, right?
Yeah.
So that they have the duty free section for themselves and the importation, that some people benefit to bringing goods and export in the free market.
Yeah.
Actually, what about the other manufacturers and suppliers and who exporting? Who will import? Where they get in the duty, if they benefited from it, and how much money, right? That she and how much license she give for business people. So, and then they talk about EMBD, green, right?
Yeah.
The same contractor, and then they say that the UNC they have a cabal, right? And a mafia running. I wanted to know a quality name of the contractor, because the contractor win the case. Junior Sammy get $225 million owed to him from the court ordered, because he do work and they're supposed to pay him, and he gave money. Whether the parent pay him or they leave it for the UNC to pay. And then it'll say Forest Reserve is Forestry Division. And when you're talking about the PNM, just think about Silot, beat up in the capital.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
And then when they go down, they go Martin. And you watch and you see all these businessmen and lawyers and them in Goodwood Park and going down, lower down. And then you see a shanty town out of the hill. And one wonder why the whole western side wasn't in an order. You know why? The PNM need these people under their foot so they can stand up. And just imagine, the PNM just come out 100 days of office, right?
Yeah.
And they can't give account for the money. And they didn't know how to run the country. And the Ministry of Education, they're talking how the money spent, you know, and the $5 billion of the procurement legislation. Brothers and sisters, call it and we all the decision. Have a best day, brother. I'll call back to you.
I seen the here, but every freaking time the UNC win an election is a set of race talk coming up with Africans. Why? But when PNM there and Indians are mostly quiet going around their business. And that is basic facts. And then after you put on that, watch for this next madman for here though. Let's go back up. So I suggest you stop this propaganda nonsense about Indian owning African. I suggest you do a little history. Listen. Go try to explain something there. Although Roger don't answer you properly already. So I even think I had a touch on this. When the African Exim Bank came to Trinidad to be able to lead African people, lend African people money to open business, Rowley never, listen, never the paperwork. Rowley is a real dog. So, go side, I don't think I have to explain it to you. Roger, thank you very much for covering that conversation there for me one time. So again, we have people up here who minding their business because if there are nobody could come and sell me no dream. And Roger could push it a little further, you know, because I could even tell you about a woman who sat down and boast on behalf of PNM and telling us that the PNM was responsible for Indian people wealth in this country. Wholly and solely. And she gave authorization, jump over the fence. Run up in their place. She gave them authorization. And this is my thing. My thing. Instead of having a real, serious, logical conversation, this is what we come here to have this blessed Sunday afternoon. And some of the African people, like, they don't understand it. No, I could bring African people who are successful to them, you know. I could do that. But then what African are getting successful to come and present themselves in front of these people? When one African woman sat down on social media and tell the young African to run up in Indian people place, take the thing. And it actually did happen. So me now go and point out Africans who haven't and bring them. This is an African who have been doing good and his years of business and thing. I can't do that. I can't even bring Indian people up on the program here now to show that this is an Indian person who business have been running successful for the past 25 years and only we patronize. Because based on that and based on the information and the instructions that was distributed, we have a lot of African elders who is inferior in their own skin. When they see Indian people, they just panic. It's like they just shake. It's because of the report. Big up yourself. Bless. Good night, big brother. Talk to you.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah, man.
God bless.
Blessings. Blessings.
By so much I think to talk about, but I want to talk to Penny folks. Miss Penny, we have an Indian businessman with a business by the name of Pennywise. PNM has an opposition leader by the name of Penny Stupid. Penny asking a question, I'm not asking a question, telling people that the same people that vote for the UNC fire all of them and didn't give them a hamper. Penny, the same people that vote for PNM in 2015, all you fire them, what will you give them, Penny? Penny, all you must think before you talk.
Please.
This is why the story have no sense. Then people, hey, every one of them going mad, you know, everyone. So,
madness.
And Mr. Faris Alwari, you're ramping and jumping up all over the place and saying your children could cut grass. Where your children could cut grass, Mr. Faris Alwari? They could hardly walk the road because they're living so high. Their foot don't touch the ground. But you're trying to defend. You're trying to defend wrongdoing. And that's what has happened with all you. All the wrong thing. Somebody from Rio Caro did say either he want to kill Rowley or somebody said kill Rowley. They find him and lock him up. But the two children who had high-powered rifle,
not them good.
Nobody do them nothing.
Them good, them legal. Remember them is PNM. Remember them is PNM.
Yes. And the person who was going as witness against that, he shoot himself and break his ribs and all kind of thing. And nothing come out of that. That is PNM. That is PNM. And the lady, the video was playing that where they're giving out school book and there's only there the UNC could give out school book. Madam, if you're listening, from 2015 to 2025, where did Rowley and Stuart Young and Imbot give out school book? Could you tell me? Did they give it out East-West Corridor? Did they give it out San Fernando West, San Fernando East? Did they give it out Point Fortin and Labre? Answer me that question. And you know when I ask this
Somebody might call
question.
in. Somebody might call in. Tell them the phone line open. The number on the screen earlier. Call it and tell me, please.
See, when I talk about these things, people are cussing me. You know what? People cussing me right now because from the time I ask them a question, this government only in power 100 days.
Yeah.
Your problem wasn't within 100 days.
No.
Did you ask the PNM? Oh God, you're ignorant, hear them, brother. Ignorant, hear them.
Yeah.
Like if they gone mad. So, you know, this is the thing that's killing this country, brother.
Yeah.
This is the thing. People not opening their eyes. What things the 1% does get,
Yeah.
what the African get. I'm not talking for Indian.
Thank you.
Forget the Indian.
Yeah.
What the African does get. Everything is 1%. Everything is 1%.
Yeah.
Indian, nothing. I mean, sorry, African, nothing. And all your African people, I can't open to that.
Come on.
Look,
now,
today,
Come on now, boy.
today we installed and a few people was Maracas Beach. I didn't get the whole episode, but they're going to regularize what taking place on Maracas Beach because people blocking up the whole beach with tent and chairs rental.
Oh.
So they want to get it in an orderly manner.
Yes.
So when you go on the beach, nobody to jostle you. You have to take a tent.
Yeah.
You have to take care. You know.
Yeah.
They want to bring it back like long time. And while they're doing that, they talk about looking into the Caroni racetrack that the PNM closed down.
Yeah.
They're looking into those big tanks they had for trucks to full opposite the cremation site that the PNM abandoned.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of things they look into it to bring back and make this country better.
Yeah.
And you know, it have not only African, it has some Indian and all. Worse than the African, you know. Them asking some question like if they was never in Trinidad for 100 years.
What the report? Honestly, I come to terms. Some of them in the LNP and me vex with them, you know, because even if a banner idiot, Suki stand up and it are living over here because them don't like to help themselves. They go quicker help we. Let we lie me. Me vex with some of them, boy.
Well, to vex with them is not the problem, you know. But there was more thief than the African. That's why I vex so.
Yeah, that's the
bad. You as an Indian is a minister or something in the PNM. You couldn't look after your brothers and sisters. All you're trying to do is fill your pocket, grab land here, grab land there.
That's the dangerous thing with it. I will tell people, you see this thing here, and especially in this meeting here, you can't afford to be having people wondering what you're supporting. This here is serious business. This country gone too far down. I still trying to understand what conversation some of these people can have with us. We now navigate out at 27 murders a weekend and all kind of thing, you know. And that was normal. The Prime Minister and them coming up and them talking normal like nobody was murdered over the weekend.
Well, because you see, it didn't fall on the doorstep.
That is what went
on. When it fall on the doorstep, it might be too late.
That is what went on. Now don't worry, the police go show up on the doorstep.
But yeah, they have a problem. They have a problem with this. The police and them what they're doing by they're supporting the PNM supporting what the criminal doing. So you mean to say you as a PNM you don't have sense to see what the direction the country was going under your regime, and now this regime trying to make a difference, and you cannot support that? The criminal more important to you than the country? But I don't know what's going on. And I get some information that another guy occupy a big piece of Caroni land. So I'm trying to get some information from how long he worked Caroni.
Yeah.
And from what I know, nobody from Caroni never get a bigger plot than 2 acres. A 2 acres plot and a 1 lot.
This Caroni thing.
And this man
thing have to
blocked.
be looked into, you know. I listen, Ms. Kamala talk about it the other day. The UNC got to really look into that very, very seriously and bring some proper closure to that, you know. Because I hear it in certain timing when certain governments was around. I got a call yesterday where a man who is an old Caroni worker, seasoned Caroni worker, and they come and close down Caroni, and the man name not knowing on the list, you know. They victimize the man, you know.
Yes, all them things happen. And the next thing used to happen when Caroni closed down, people take tractors and all kind of things.
Well, thank God
and
again. Well, thank God. Listen what you're saying. If you close down the company, listen, that man did my research too. I know that governments who send reimbursement for the Caroni workers and them. And the land conversation, they were supposed to receive that. Remember, I tell you, I live Cedar Hill Village, Cottage Trace. Mr. Father cocaine for years. So I understand what was supposed to take place. But based on what it is I understanding, that is not what unfold. So this is why we keep telling people that one term with UNC and then vote them out because somebody come up in their feelings and the media house. We already up to the media house. They manipulate the people. So we're not accepting that information. Thank God we government not investing in that. Thank God.
And here what's going on. A lot of people saying, all you didn't do nothing in the last 5 years. Yes.
In which 5 years, Ms. Kamala, 5 years?
Yes. And here what's going on.
But
if that is true, 10 years Rowley was there, why all you didn't ask a question?
Let me tell you something. Ms. Kamala first 5 years, and remember, she apologized for certain things who happened. In Ms. Kamala first 5 years, you're lining up, you're taking Rowley full 10 years. And you bringing in any international observer to weigh the odds between Ms. Kamala 5 and Rowley 10. That is straight to jail, Rowley them going. That is straight to jail. Do not pass go. Just make a left by the corridor and go and sit down. Because that is madness. Me telling you Ms. Kamala is a saint. Me telling you she's a Hindu a pundit or whatever. But what it is I am telling you, for some strange reason, it seems to me, not me who say it every report, the people saying it, that when UNC in power, UNC tend to do collective governing. They think about everybody.
Yes. So, you know, we have to, and the people in hurry, boy, they hurry. Then in 100 days, they give out 200 agreement. Give them some time. They go do that.
Report, call me back. The phone line hot.
Yeah, okay, take care. Take care, blessing.
Oh God, call me back too. Report and pay contribution. Daniel, one thing I'll tell you. No, I doesn't vape. Right? I don't vape. Right? So here is. Please, all right. Caller calling back. Bless, good night, caller.
Mr. Felix.
How you do?
Good night to you, Mr. Felix.
How you do, brother?
Well, I say it's time to touch base.
Come on.
Now's the right time to touch base.
Yes, man.
Let me give you 10 out of 10. I'm going to get 10 out of 10 for your program, you know.
Thank you,
and the
brother.
passion.
Yes,
the passion you have for the future of this country, especially the future of your community.
Yes, brother.
When I hear you speak about point 14, it is factual. It is factual. After 65 years, a representation, lack of representation by the PNM. Most of the resources this country benefits from oil and gas and everything come from Point 14. And today, Point 14 is one of the most dilapidated community in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. What did the PNM do? Did they really represent the people? Did they really assist the people in time of need and develop the community because they swear on the Constitution to represent the people and give the people them opportunity?
Yes.
Instead of them give the people opportunity, Mr. Felix, They neglect the community.
Yes.
And yet still they say, yet still telling the people and them, the PNM is the right choice. What's wrong with Penny? What's wrong with Penny?
She don't even believe that.
You know, I had a conversation with David Mohammed Saturday morning. And David Mohammed revealed to me and to the citizens of this country that one of the most dangerous places and violent places in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, remember I say the most dangerous, is in Arima, Penny Becker's constituency. What did she do? What did she create? After 30 years of representation for the people, the most violent community.
Yes. Yes. That is
the most dangerous community.
Yes, man. That is representation.
But she had a constitutional responsibility to enhance the community, bring brotherhood, bring peace, bring love, bring unity, bring togetherness, and mobilize the community so that they will be out of a life of crime.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is the most dangerous place today. Keith Rowley represent the people them from Digo Martin for over 35 years, the boast.
Yes.
And when you drive down Sharama side, all you see is rusty galvanizer. Rusty galvanizer.
Failure. Failure.
When you reach the Beatum and you watch the hills of Lavantil, all the tanks, all you see is rusty galvanizer. And if you look at pictures and videos from 1960s, you see the community and you see the same way in 2025.
Yeah.
What did they do? Did they really represent the people? Did they assist the people in time of need?
No. No.
The Chinese become multi-millionaires. The Syrians become multi-millionaires. The Indians become multi-millionaires under a black government that say that representing black people.
Yeah.
They even encourage 95% black in jail.
Yeah.
And they make the children and them sing that song, 95% black and 5% white. And was proud to sing 95% of the brothers in jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we classify them as people that represent black people. Or was it black people victimizing black people?
Was black people victimizing black people, big brother? That's way it was.
Mr. Felix, if the future of this country don't appreciate you taking your time and coming out to speak on behalf of the future of this country, they will learn a dread lesson.
Right.
Because they must learn. They must understand. The children of the PNM supporters must understand the mistakes that their grandmother make, the grandfather make, the mother make, and the father make. They must recognize that mistake. Because your mother and father can't make mistake for 65 years, 65 blasted years, and then you come and make that mistake now.
Continue the same mistake. It don't make sense. And
your mother, your grandmother and grandfather, their grandmother and grandfather work URP for 65 years. Their mother and father work the same URP. And the same PNM want to give the blasted children the same URP work today again.
Yeah. So no evolve. The family not, they're making sure the family structure don't evolve at all. At all.
It's a colony. Underdeveloped people created.
Yes.
It's a colony.
Yes. Don't ever get an idea to
even
buy a piece of land. Don't bother with nothing. You just depend. You go ahead, caller. You're preaching tonight. Go ahead.
They kill them out slowly. They kill them out slowly. They keep them in a depression, in a dependent syndrome where we will always want something. We will always want something from you. Their responsibility was to give the people them a better life, not to keep them dependent.
Thank you.
That was the responsibility that they take. They swear and the Bhagavad Gita, they swear and the Bible, they swear and everything in Parliament.
Yes.
And after when they finish swear, they mislead the people. That's hypocrisy. That's callous leader.
To the highest. Hypocrisy
Penny.
to the highest.
To the highest.
Hmm.
10 out of 10 for that the PNM get. Mr. Felix,
Yeah, brother.
take 10 out of the 10 for your programming
Thank
and
you
the
much.
future of this country.
Thank
All
you
you
much.
must understand the mistakes all the parents make. It's a generational curse.
Yes.
Don't let it fall on you because the chip don't fall far from the block.
At all.
You say, mommy, don't chop nothing at all because I don't want to be the chip that falling next to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you much, caller. Thank you much. Thank you very much for that contribution, real as it gets. Because this thing here is not a plain thing. This thing is about upliftment and we in this together. And I fed up being a part of the we in this together. But when I do check it, my elders and them looking like I the cleanup man. They're the only part I fit. I can't be on the stage. I can't talk to nobody. I the cleanup man. When I show up to the venue, the rake had to be in my hand. And I'm saying enough is enough with that. We make contributions. And while we make contributions, we as a people must understand nobody don't owe us nothing. It's time that we find our place in society. What you telling me? The Spanish man now come just the other day after COVID and look them done huddling up and opening businesses. What you telling me after 60 how much years of PNM corruption, the Indian community weasel in the middle of that? When I say weasel, they had to dance. What you telling me the Mahasabha had to come out, gaze up? And the Indian community, if they was not prepared for what the Mahasabha was doing, they would end up debating just like our African people debating. We'd end up in a whole set of dotishness. And if other ethnicities do it and evolve, who the hell is we? Who is we to be sitting down after 60 how much years of an organization telling we is an African organization and said no structure, no upliftment, no development? You ought to be a big hypocrite. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Yes, good afternoon.
How you do? How you do, brother?
Well, I didn't know you have show any night now.
Yeah, well, come on. We out there, I was supposed to be up yesterday. And on top of that, remember I tell her to go and pick up a box tomorrow, please, Lord. So it wouldn't have no show time.
Yes, so here now. I want to respond to the position. I think, according to Professor Walsh, she's not a friend. They won't a friend. So here Penny, right? In a PM meeting in Fernandez. 50,000 people lost a job in 3 months. You believe that? Well, let me tell you how this woman, I mean, PM just like propaganda. Here we go now. 10,000 people lost their job in people, right? You know, them so wise or feel smart.
Hold on 1 second there. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Ambrose, let me explain something to you. It's Sunday, right? You probably don't have no children, you probably don't have no respect for your family. But everybody, be real now. Oh God, it's minutes to 9. So 9 out of 10, even the caller children might be around him or your grandchildren. Go easy now. Oh God, you can't come up with a better word than what it is they putting up there. You go ahead, caller. Thank you much.
Yeah. So disingenuous. 10,000 people lost their job with people. Right? You take 3 months and multiply the 10,000 and make it 30,000 and the big headline on the paper, 30,000 people lost their job. And in India would question her to find out where the 30,000 people lost their job. Because that's what she did.
Yeah.
The 10,000 people by 3 months. And they get 30,000 people.
Yeah.
That is disingenuous, man. We are bright people who, I mean, they're not asking questions.
That is what's going on. They think everybody's stupid.
Yeah. So, I mean, all they could do is just sell propaganda. And you know, an Indian guy called you some weeks ago. So after it, why you don't bring Indian people on the show? Because the propaganda, because he is supposed to be Indian. Right?
Yeah.
And they're coming all, PNM come in all different forms, Indian, African. So those were the 7-digit people are. And you know what? When I say 7-digit, you're not talking millions. So because they listen to them, they're making a million. So propaganda will be coming fast and furious from now till must not allow the PNM must never occupy the corridor of power ever again for these next 50 years.
Yes.
I can be dead and gone. Right? Because every time they come into power, they destroy the country.
Yes.
We had two oil boom in Eric Williams days, you know.
Yeah.
We were once known as Little Dubai.
Yeah.
And that money just disappear. Every time they come into power, they destroy this place.
And
that must never happen again.
And Kola is amazing, eh? That since Eric Williams days, Eric Williams spoke that every citizen can get $1 million, right? And after that, the next ease Trinbagonian get really and truly comfortably was in Basir Pandey and Little Manning time, you know. That was the next set of ease, you know.
This is the worst. This last 9 years and 8 months, the worst I've seen. Not only financially, you know, but a lot of people died. Right?
Yeah.
Died. We already had the highest second and highest murder toll in this country.
Now they'll be back
right?
a couple of times.
Manning was in fourth and Rowley occupied fifth, sixth, and seventh. Every time he had him in power, the crime would goes up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a fact. Statistical, right? But keep up the good work, because I want to talk a little soon. I really got opinion.
Yep,
I enjoy your talk, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you much, Kola.
Yeah.
Yes, man. So let's see what going on. People minding the business. So as we doing this together, we have some of them, we have to cheer them up. So our responsibilities to educate them. So while I deal with them in the chat here, we will continue talking. So brothers and sisters, as we look at it, and we look at where Trinidad and Tobago is at right now, I continue to ask my own African people. I want to know from all let me be real. Bless good afternoon, KFC. What's going on with you, big brother?
Oh, blessed night, Mr. Philip.
Blessed.
I know, I know taking it. I'll say this, discuss it with Report.
Yeah, Report was just up there.
So you have to talk all the night, huh?
Remember them fellas
If we put it right there, go on around.
when Freeport and them call, I just get them to play. Remember them down in H2, so I just get them to play.
All right, you respect the old person.
The age, yeah, and then too, watch the muscle, the elderly brothers and sisters for years too, you know.
Yeah.
They did a lot of damage for real, you know, by the attack them people and them, you know.
Plus we 9 years, they get a their pension too, eh?
Oh God. And on top of that, them with old care in front of the health center and the hospital. Come on. No insulin. Madness. But the only thing they do is cost up them old people directly. That's the only thing they do.
But I don't have much to say tonight. I just look to understand. I got no friend of Mr. Felix.
What you saying?
Yeah, she name is Beulah. You ever that call and ground report?
No, I never heard that call yet.
But I make a contribution to ground report. I think it was she was attacking. It was the wrong person.
Right.
I forget the person name was say. And I look call back here and my boy Washington program apologize to she.
All right.
She tell me she's single and she had no kids, so I look at her and break that chain, break that curse now.
Well, all right.
So that when you read your friend, so I look to her still blessed.
All right, Papa. Yes, he's real shower. Listen. Yes, he's real yes. Now hear this, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to talk. And as I've been saying, the conversation in Trinidad and Tobago is here. Every creed and race find an equal place. And may God bless our nation. Despite what the UNC already clarified, Ms. Kamala Posad, Bisesa, and all are representing factor. You see that 1% talk? They're not accepting the conversation. And they're not accepting the conversation over the fact that they want the 1% business to collapse. No, nobody not on the 1% business. But what we're saying is, if a man could walk into a member of parliament office with a document stating that he come for authorization to purchase the land. Now the conversation with purchasing the land is that the bank giving him the money for the land, to purchase the land. The bank even giving him the money to develop the land, and then the bank itself leasing back the land from him. You doesn't hear that much, brother. That, and it'll be around a lot of Indian and African people. That is a very, very scarce conversation to come by in those two communities. Honestly. So when you really look and you see what really going on, if it's good for Jack, it's supposed to be good for Marcus and Felix. And to me, Africans in Trinidad and Tobago, all you ain't fed up, by. Some of you ain't fed up. You ain't fed up, you're fighting on everything. The Indian man ain't good, he wicked and bad. The Chinese ain't good, he wicked and bad. The Syrian ain't good, he wicked and bad. The Spanish ain't good, them wicked and bad. But when you ask, you're going to buy hardware, you're going to buy the hardware, you're going to buy bag one, saying who you have in point. We have GUPS hardware, you're going a little higher up, it's 0.14 hardware. No matter where you turn, and when the African man could pull you square to give you a proper breakdown of all the businesses, what not to support. We could tell you how stupid Indian people is. We could tell you how stupid Syrian is, how stupid African who supporting UNC is. We have all the breakdown. The only thing we can tell you is which part our business is for we to come and patronize. That's the only thing we can tell you. The same man who telling you Felix is a league, but ask him where his business is. That is the same man who telling you don't shop by the Chinese, don't shop by the Syrian, don't shop by the Indian. The same man who telling you that, ask him where his grocery is. Tell him you want to go buy Eddie's supermarket, or you want to go buy George's supermarket. You're willing to get Passar arrest, I will get people arrest, I giving food basket arrest. Massey, you and all getting arrest are going by George and shop. Where's George supermarket? There's no excuse for the level of shortcomings in the African communities. There's no excuse. The only thing the African community needs to understand, especially those who support in PNM, that you hold back is PNM. PNM convince you that living poor and living in a state of poverty is the way to live. And on top of that, they teach you venom. They make you watch other people think. But you dare one of them to tell me I ain't talking not make sense here. The United National Congress only have three terms in office. When you talk in UNC, it's three you're talking, Mr. Bazir Pandey, Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa as the first female, and Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa again as the second female Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. When you talking NAR, one term, one, all the rest is PNM, and PNM convinced Africans that the PNM party is an African party. So while people who was not part of the PNM understand that we can't continue following these mad people. Wait, now the Mahasabha, he talking, and it's Indian people who is not Hindu, but the Mahasabha, what he saying down in the corner there, boy? And when he say no, we got to set structure and start to educate the trend. I damn sure this man. Come. All you come in. Come out of that whole government sector thing there, eliminate out of that. Come in. And when they invite the Prime Minister call the people structure go Cowpen. They say Indian people educating the children in Cowpen. The Indian community wash their hand on that and they continue going forward. They continue going forward. Listen when Curry Marshall and them talk. When Penelope them talk. Listen how all of them does talk. No matter who educated in this country is PNM education. Tell me which part you ever hear anywhere on social media or put it out in the news. Indian people standing up telling Indian people that all your education is Hindu education. All your guns shut up with them. Indian people don't even tell Indian people in PNM them stupidness. First, that is of no value. Is either coming to get the education or not? Is either we holding on to the truth or not? And the truth is, if the Mahasabha was lazy By God, no way Indian people would have beat it. If the Mahasabha they decide, if the Mahasabha they decide, Ramki soon we come to terms the Mahasabha and Miss Kamala did fall out. But don't say the Mahasabha never did support Miss Kamala. Because that would be lying. Don't do that. Right? Say that they did fall out and we understand it was a whole bacchanal thing. No problem. But don't say that, come on. We had them data. That is public information. Right? So don't get no ask. But here what I'm saying is, I asking people, you all know I had the audio when it is the Mahasabha and Miss Kamala did officially fall out, right? And I also had the video when the Mahasabha was endorsing Miss Kamala too. I have those videos, because I've been minding my business a long while. So we can't put all them kind of content or go be spreading wrong information in the country, man. Don't do that, man. We are PNM styling. So if you're a PNM, you can go ahead and continue typing that. But hold on to the facts. Don't leave out the facts that the Mahasabha and Miss Kamala did fall out. That is the truth. Don't leave out that. Because what it is I'm trying to clarify here, I'm trying to clarify something so that my African people could capitalize on what actually did happen. The Mahasabha decided he no longer sitting and waiting on the PNM, on no government to uplift his people. How he speak. A lot of people say he was racial and he think because at the point in time in the level of conversation that was taking place. Come on, I'm defending my thing. I'm defending my thing. The same PNM is the same PNM. Holding on to hate gets you nowhere. No, even because holding on to hate. That is what we're saying. Right? Hear this. Big brother here. Well, let me take this call here. Big brother, how you doing?
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Are you all right? You sure done or you're still on it?
We on air right now. Right now, you're like,
Oh, all right.
in some greetings to the people,
I hear Kunji talking.
Yeah.
And I want to add a little thing to it.
Talk now, man. Talk to me.
The reason why Arima was in that state with Penny,
Yeah.
and she can't help them in money because she only has Penny, and she can't advise them because she has no sense.
No, and that is the truth. We are playing. That is the truth.
Right?
Yes, man.
Yeah. And they put a minister of education.
Yes, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I know they put she because to see about children, but she playing dolly cook.
That is what going. That is what they do.
Because she had do nothing for them and she had give them no laptop.
True. What I like with her, what I like with she is after coming out of office, she now realized that the school need repairing, and on top of that, she's sitting and waiting to see the magnificent job that UNC will do after reading the budget and putting in the money to do these schools. Them crazy, you know. Them are crazy people.
But I hear she saying that how they have money now. So the 144 billion wasn't money.
No, they don't.
And then after she lose the election, then she realized she area school was fixing.
Yes, no, realize that.
Well, they nothing. They now get up.
Yeah. No, realize that.
Yeah.
Madness.
Yeah. So you have a good day.
Yes, partners.
And a good night, and I wish you all the best for tomorrow.
And I have to tell you, thank you very much for the other day too again. Thank you much.
Yeah, don't worry yourself. We go talk that off here. Don't talk that.
Brothers and sisters, family and friends, only watch me, I love my country. I love my nation. On top of that, if it is what happened, this is our next thing to it. Some of the African brothers and them in tongue and thing, all they need to start to move about the country and not move about on no stupid thing. They move about the country and visit different parts. Some of them never check the mud volcano and go Princess Tongue, Sapari, I find the Banwari man. It's at different places to go and check, and they know you'll get to realize plenty of the thing where all the PNM representatives tell all you. Big brother, talk to me.
Yeah, Mr. Yesterday I see Lollipop and Gapsi Dolly. And my brother Prima sitting on the under a press conference. And that's all the cancellation of the parade.
The parade.
Yeah. And Gapsi Dolly, begging there was some fundraiser, and some book drive.
Mm-hmm.
And the begging for money. Who are ready to do this? Go back to the house.
Who they begging for money? That makes your talk and Faris are for money. They can't beg people for money.
No, I tell you that them was there for the last 9 years plus.
You serious?
Yeah,
really doing for that beg?
Yeah, to them, to the same poor people who care for the supporters, they beg them not pulling on just anything small. They trying to build back the party now. Remember the party?
Wait. They're begging for things for the school chair. They're begging for things for the party. What are you telling me, Mike?
Yeah. I tell you, they're begging things for the party. But I said, they're having some book drive or some kind of thing in there. But Gapsin Dolly, father, have about 4 or 5 contracts in CPEP.
But all of them and the family, but you ain't seen what going on now. You ain't what going on.
Gapsin Dolly have Gapsin Dolly, the former MP Education.
Yeah.
She have a cafeteria running in MTS Plaza.
So they're taking money from that to do the drive. The people, the same poor people have to put money to do the book drive. Only listening to what's going on. So while I start the program with an African woman explaining African people place in this country, because basically we start the program with her explaining that the Indian population in Trinidad and Tobago is wicked because them look at African people and see African people could do more. They could do better. We Indian Prime Minister, she make up she mind that African people is not only to cut grass, man. Come on, man. We are teachers and doctors and lawyers that we evolve this thing and spread this thing and boast about this thing properly. This is what we live in, you know. And the same Africans who standing with a party who told them that the party is an African party after transferring leadership to a man who was nothing close to African and barely a East Indian. They transferred the party to he, you know. And them still convincing Africans that the PNM is an African party. And I, Irvin, is a lick bottom African. Because I want my children and them, when they go to school, the drains to be clean. So when rain fall, the school don't flood. PNM get 9 years and 8 months. They ain't clean the drains wrong with children in school. 9 years and 8 months, they ain't clean the drains in the communities. 9 years and 8 months is inadequate lighting, inadequate sidewalk, inadequate road repairs. 9 years and 8 months, the impact increase on we elderly brothers and sisters pension. 9 years and 8 months they were successful to close down the major corporation that bringing in the US to handle the business in Trinidad and Tobago. 9 years and 8 months. If they have a Trinbagonian citizen other than the PNM representatives who have something that they accomplished in this 9 years and 8 months. And to the PNM supporters, the bag from the hamper, that is not an accomplishment. Not because you had 200 bags in a cupboard, mean that you accomplished something from the party. I don't know about you, but I believe everybody else rather to go and make grocery. The fact that we just at some point in time, we just have to open up your mouth and ask. Nobody don't ask when they don't have to ask. But we come to terms This is why we're not enabling people with the slackness. Plenty of them crying out, oh, it no CPAP work, and my children have to go to school, and me this and me that. But when they get the opportunity to talk, you is one of them been working CPAP for the past 7 years. So we had to tell you that you had the ambition. What you say, our old pan take it, Dolly? There's mad thing going on here. There's craziness going on here. And then on top of that, last week, Tuesday gone, I listened Hans Devine quote a scripture from the Bible. And as the savior of Trinidad and Tobago. And I was like, well, okay then. Bless good night, brother. Bless night, brother.
Nice, I got cut off there.
Yeah,
I want to say congratulations to all we working MPs and them.
Yes, man.
Who contribute for the younger generation to about 3 new school too. After MP donate about 300 bags and books and things.
Yeah.
My MP, all the MPs, my boy, the strong man.
Yeah. We're gonna forget him, man. Let's forget him. We minister
the dog. Yeah, what doing the part.
Yes. Yes, man.
And we just know in office that we deliver to the people now.
Yes, man.
So the parents last night they're out of office. The while we plan them, we transforming CPAP and European trying to make sure everybody get a proper paying jobs. So them begging for money.
Yes.
So all that money he can type and Johnny Sukaran make. He can fund all of them, all his support in them areas and them paying them strong on them.
No Taipans done.
That's what Felix.
Taipans.
He alone could do that.
Yeah.
He and Juki Fit calling them both alone, them could do that.
Them could handle that.
They eat like Packers crush.
Hey, them could handle that. Them are the paper, they make
He
the money.
them could handle that.
They make
them
the money.
Them money like them money. Them fellas have money like sand and the Chinese man small pen. Them now coming in PNM Day 2015, 2010 to 2015, and rolling make them millionaires.
Yes.
Yeah, and the father and them, the brother.
Make them millionaires and leaders too.
Yeah.
Make them millionaires and leaders.
But with the nonsense I'm talking about, the new topic now is about land. I taken David Mohammed last night. You know David Mohammed said last night? Well, the UNC when I was there for 2010 to 2015, they get the highest in Calypso, Soca Monarch, Panorama. And when the PNM come in, they cut it down. So I want to know that David Mohammed let you know wake up.
They're now starting to get up. That is what I'm telling people. When it comes to holistic governing, UNC tend to deliver that, PNM don't deliver that. PNM do propaganda.
David Mohammed, them are gonna feel like they're so black conscious and they're coming the deceitful too, you know. They be real.
Yeah.
Because they're not really talking on behalf of black people, you know.
No.
To offend black people. Because PNM run this country for donkey and Mr. Felix. And we community still in this, we are not proper school, we are not proper nothing. They want to talk about Sat Marriage.
Yeah.
Sat Marriage not talking with no pretty talk and thing. He coming and talking and developing East Indian brothers and sisters.
Why were you telling me by the Indian community that's make the investment by it? We ain't telling you that
Yeah,
do have Indian people who get in a little trouble, but it's not like Indian people leave them loose. Them still actually working on the people.
Yeah, David. I have Sat Marriage and a black man was talking and improvement and showing me the Sat Marriage telling me only have a full cope. I feel so ashamed because PNM run this country for so long, the past all this oil boom. They don't have proper schools in the community. They never have peace and light to say emancipation, nothing at all.
Madness by madness. And when out of office now, and when they out of power now you are pan in every child hand. You telling me these people
are
not mad?
When out of power, and this PNM runs the more. What she still doing there, boy?
Me and know, boy.
I she organize a handful of people to put the bring in my ministers, the culture, that nice black girl from down there.
Right.
And you're able to cover the center. What's the election? We had to watch them, you know. Them are snakes, you know. Them look at them middle government look bad, you know.
Thank you.
Remember she taking land and she and roll the plots.
That is why we watching we business, big brother. That is why we watching we business. It is our responsibility to make them know we looking at them. Don't feel we just blindly supporting the government. We watching all you too.
Yeah. But feel like we supporting the government is full on jail because we are young children and trying to come and to benefit them.
Come on now, big brother.
Right, Doctor, listen. Have a blessed night and return state.
Me and nobody am blindly supporting the UNC. Nobody am blindly supporting the UNC. I reached to the point that I fed up with my children having to drop my children to school and have to go and pick them back up because the school don't have water. I fed up seeing my children and them friends who in other schools. The school flooding out. And that is just schools. That is just schools. The government talking about when COVID-19 take place and they listen to the embarrassment about they give away 86,000 laptops between teachers and students. What level of dotishness is that? Were you telling me about only borrow over $144 billion? And you telling me all they didn't have the principle because they left the teachers and them to fend for themselves. They had to use their own resources. All they didn't provide laptops. All they didn't provide internet for the teachers and them. But this government is the worst, by. This is the worst. This government that now come out of office here. Jesus Christ. Boy, we have to thank God, Miss Kamala Persad-Bissessar, that leading the United National Congress with the coalition of interests didn't give up by. So if them didn't give up after sitting down and waiting 9 years and 8 months, who the hell am I? Who am I? Who am I? Henry, you come back here again. Henry, this is not a political dunce talk, you know. Henry, could you tell me, seeing that you're up here, could you tell me the last time PNM give pension an increase? Could you tell us, educate the 500 and better of us who are up here tonight? You have an opportunity. Or matter of fact, Henry, let me make it easy for you. You're up here talking, but what bullshit I talking, right? So you tell us the last time the elderly brothers and sisters in Trinidad and Tobago received an increase in pension, and before that increase, who was the last person to increase it? While Henry sought out that piece of information, now Henry don't lie because there are people who up here who know exactly what's going on in the country. Right? Sure. This is the kind of conversation we're looking for here, man. Stay woke for local government. We want a clean sweep. You see all those unexplained areas, San Fernando East, and we have some brothers and sisters left struggling in Port of Spain under Corey Marcel and all of these guys and them. Clean sweep. We don't want no excuses. To the people of Trinidad and Tobago, this ain't no blind come out and support. You know what I'm telling you? Despite what, as a man does do my reading, so I always thanking God for Jesus. You notice when we start, we must give God the praise, the honor, and the glory. Because a lot, and this is to the, especially some of the African PNMites, so they don't understand what is being done and what it is I actually verbalizing it. But let me explain something to you. I just make a statement that all they don't understand when I say God does put up and he does take down. God allow all to walk the road and campaign globally and tell the whole world, Miss Kamala Persad-Bissessar, weak, corrupt, this, she that, she what, thing, blah, 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 and all they talk everything. And God put all in opposition to sit back and watch Miss Kamala Persad-Bissessar with the coalition of interests form government in this country with the endorsement of Tobago TPP. Form government in this country and under Miss Kamala Persad-Bissessar, right here on Real Talk. And just in case you don't know, right here on Real Talk, It have African, and not young Africans, elderly African people calling in this program and thanking God for Miss Kamala Prasad Bisesa, who come from East Indian descent. Mind me, her history, her legacy came down the road over 100 years ago on the Fatal Azak. Let me be real. And Miss Kamala Prasad Bisesa, that is leading the UNC, have African feeling. That is the best representation African has ever received in this country for years. Henry had a soak in that. Put that in a cup of coffee. You ain't bound to put sugar. That's sweet enough for you. And sip that slowly while this program continues. You understand? Who is the PNM till me? Felix, what they buy in school books. Now, Henry, again, now today I am not just sit down here having a conversation because I'm feeling to have a conversation. I'm having a conversation based on experience. And I could tell you this, again, back under Miss Kamala Prasad Bisesa time, young fella like myself, is the most money that me as an African and some of my Indian partners ever worked for, especially in the oil field, was under Miss Kamala Prasad Bisesa time. And still, it had African people with all that. Listen to what I'm telling you. $17,000 and $18,000. Some was pulling $15,000, not for the month, a fortnight. Listen to what I'm telling you. Not for the month, you know, a fortnight. The thing was so dread because the skill work we doing there. So that was the first time I get proper pay for my trade. And the thing was so dread. The taxes was so dread that we had people volunteering to stay home on the weekend. Because when you work through the weekend and the taxman pass through, that is too much money. So men was making excuse to stay home. Henry in the middle of all of that. While my children in school, the teacher had to break pencil because they asked for a particular type of triangle pencil to enhance the children and them handwriting. Fanny Village is the name of the school my children was going at the time. They asked for a kind of triangle pencil. I remember it was $50 a box of the pencil. It had about 12 or 14 pencil in the box. And we, instead of sending one pencil because we had the twin going there and Aiden going there. So here we're going on. We send a box of pencil. By the time the week closed off, the teacher sent a call. They had to get more pencil. I said, what kind of mad thing is it? $50 a mad? When I go down by the school, you know what they do? They take my pencil and break it in half. The same people who I working with, them same African and them who I working with, they had enough money that they could have stayed home on the blasted weekend, but they didn't have enough money to buy pencil for the children. And we catch all your blasted self with that. They will tell me about children and with books and all kind of thing. Whether I walk swinging or what, it's the same excuse. It's the same excuse. So don't come wrong me with that level of shoppiness and that crap we're trying to come wrong me with. Ladies and gentlemen, now let me be real. What going on with this PNM IGR this Saturday day? I wonder if Henry could explain to me where we $144 billion gone. I wonder if Henry could explain to me, after PNM running this country over 65 years, where the African man stand in the business sector. You're over here talk about who done and all this kind of thing. But yet still you ain't taking care of your own blasted children. What you telling me about? Anytime all you get opportunity, all you horning all your wife, all you have no basic common sense, and then realizing is there I have to go, you know. It's right there I have to go. Back here I go straight there. We had to talk about the shortcomings along the way. Because when we go there, I know I'll have to take my licks in that. I make children before I married my wife. My father, how much are we? You charge of that. Pay the rates. When you go by the bar, everybody had to know. We walk in. Well, let you come around with them shoppiness. Let me explain something to all the ladies and gentlemen at the end of the day. Lily, Hold on, let me get call Lily for me. Tell Lily block Henry there for me, please. Hey, hold this phone in. Then she block Henry there for me because Henry ain't bringing no block Henry. Right. So here it is. As we navigate, right? Remember, start the conversation explaining to all your hands touch on something that he didn't even realize what it is he do. So I just want to just touch on something here. I want to head down in Matthew here tonight, right? And the conversation is that all you're coming out now, all you have thing to say now, brother man, and to the people and them who now tune in, I have been speaking for years. I have been speaking for years. Me, you know, 2 weeks before election, I talking. I was talking since the timing when PNM was still PNM in Point 14. While I talking, people who was supporting UNC wasn't even talking in Point 14. What's the thing serious? Yeah. Get you? Yeah. It's amazing, eh? It's amazing. Same African people you used to talk to all of a sudden they're disrespectful now. Me and them. Here is now. I want to hit here. Matthew chapter 9. Matthew chapter 9, verse 35. Here it is. Then Jesus went about all the cities and the villages, teaching in their synagogues, preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every sick and every disease among the people. But when he saw the multitude, he was moved with compassion for them. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't man, my mind has kind of run fast. Because again, God asks us to apply his word to our daily life. So my responsibility while I'm reading, I just try to picture what it is I'm reading. And listen to the words of this conversation. And Jesus went about the city and the villages, teaching in their synagogue, preaching the gospel of the kingdom, healing. So healing is one, every sick and every disease. So that covered. But here it is, something about the poor, something about the less fortunate. Listen to this. But when he saw the multitude, he was moved with compassion for them because they were weary and scattered. Two major words. They were weary and scattered. That's not sounding like the average African in this country. We basically, it's like we weary and we scattered because it seems to me like we can't get it together. No matter what government is in place. Look, African run the country for over 60 how much years. When it comes to business, we don't have a mark. When it comes to anything, we really don't have a mark. And the 1 or 2 Africans that actually have a mark, listen now, let us talk about Marshall. If Patrice show a show, and the show score, they say that Trinidadians don't want nothing because we went and support Patrice. If Voice show a show, we don't want nothing because they went and support Voice. If the African community decide we standing with African, they don't want that. Look at what it is they did to Daga and them, the Daga and them party. Look at what they did. So it's the same African over the years, history after history, continuing to fight on African. But here it is. The conversation say, he was moved with compassion and for them because they were weary and scattered, like sheep, having no, who's this line? Having no shepherd. Listen to me. Verse 31, he said to his disciples, the harvest is truly plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore, pray the Lord of heaven to send out laborers into the harvest. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a laborer. Right? I am a laborer. One man called the other day, and this is the things that they use and the thing that they could try to embarrass people. Felix, all this talk, and me see on a board. I talk from my Iowa before Iowa on social media, then gone by Iowa, come back off of Iowa, I back on social media. Anybody ever hear me tell people campaigning to go on any board? I ever tell anybody I had any conversation with anybody concerning anybody? Everybody listen to my conversation. Everybody know where my passion is. I'm a talk show host, and on top of that, construction work, and on top of that, blasting and painting I'm in charge of. And it would be very nice, blessed and respectful Keep me in my category. Keep me in my category. I am totally comfortable with that. In 2018 is when Rowley and his friends closed down Petrochina. I want to go back to work. That's what I want. You don't try to put me on a board to try to muzzle me. You don't try to arrest me on a board and try to tell the government like the government, somebody cut some flick with the government. Bless God, just now, eh? You're not calling our next phone. Eh? Bless good night, caller.
Yeah, is it Mr. Felix?
Yes, man.
Am I live? I'm calling from St. James. My program was already this man.
Thank you much. Thank you.
Yeah, brother. Nice program.
Yes, man. Thank you.
Man. When we win, everybody win.
Everybody win.
Everybody win.
Thank you
nice,
much.
Man.
Yes, man.
Yeah, brother. Take care.
Yes, man.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's see what's going on. So the conversation must be spoken, and we have to be real and reasonable. And if the conversation is the harvest is right, and the laborers are few, we must be real and reasonable with the activities and the thing that we practicing. Me living here by joke, here every creed and race find an equal place. There was a time that I was misinformed. And watch me, when I'm standing for something, I'm going full 100. I ain't playing. Hello, bless good night, caller. Caller, bless good night.
Mr. Felix, good night to you again.
Hey, good night, big brother. Talk to me.
Mr. Felix, when the master was building sheds to educate the children and them, because the PNM was teaching the children when the little boy come to school, he come up from school, he go home. The father asked him, what you learn in school today? He said, Jack and Jill went up the hill to catch a pail of water. He said, what? The father said, what? He said, what else you learn? What about maths and things? You know, they said, we learn Humpty Dumpty set up on a wall. The master said, hey, we don't want to have nothing to do with this government school, and then we want we own school to teach your children, and then 1 and 1 is 2, and 2 and 2 is 4. Not Jack and Jill went up the hill.
That is the truth way.
They start with some. That is facts.
Yeah, like facts.
They started build their own schools, and then with bamboo.
Thank you.
With bamboo. The PNM says cow shed.
Yeah.
5 years after. 5 years after, Eric Williams had to fund them and help them build most 95% of the Hindu schools and them after today. The PNM, what helped them build those schools and them, and neglect the African community, because all the primary school and college that have in the African community is the UNC what built that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the UNC just stay in office twice, you know.
Yeah, that was telling people.
In 1985, old age pension was $65. And UNC spent twice, and today it is $3,500.
Thank you. Thank you.
Henry, today it is $3,500. But you love the PNM still.
Love them so.
Why these people them don't want better for the senior citizen? Why? Why you don't want the senior citizen to get a better salary? These people them, Mr. Felix, these people them, like Henry and them, them vote in this general election for the citizens of this country to pay high water rate, to pay high property tax, to pay property tax for the rest of our life. And when we transfer our property for we children, them had to continue paying that. That's what them vote for, you know.
True.
Them vote for everything that will encourage the citizen to have less money in the pocket. Them vote for that. And they classify themselves as responsible people. No, you're a PNM. And no PNM responsible. Because anytime you thinking that way, why them don't want a Kuva hospital for the children and them? Why? Why only don't want a university in Dere? Why only want that in St. Augustine?
Yeah.
Why only want 3 universities in Trinidad and Tobago?
Thank you.
Why only want that?
And we have
Callous people think that way.
And we have
And most of these people that think that way, PNM bring them Trinidad over here to live to be PNM until they're dead.
Yeah.
Them bring them over here to support all them nonsense. But if all they don't change all their ways, it will hurt you much.
Yeah.
But it will hurt you, the future of your community. It will hurt the future of your tribe.
Yes.
That's where it will go to hurt. It's not hurting you much because I witness the PNM creator in this country depression. They create that low self-esteem. Over 70% of the school population suffer from low self-esteem.
Yes.
That is not my statistic. That is the Ministry of Education statistic. That is what Gaspy Dolly and them organization. That is them statistic.
Yes.
Low self-esteem.
Yes.
Depression and anxiety.
And anxiety. Yes, man.
Over 70% of the population suffer from anxiety. You know what that's saying? They even revealed to the citizens of this country, we have 1.4 million people in Trinidad, and 1 out of every 4 person suffers from some mental issue, and they do nothing about that. They do nothing about that. They spend over $70 billion in 9 years in the Ministry of Health, and neglect 1 out of every 4 person suffering from mental issue.
Yes. Facts.
Thank God, the UNC and Tanti Kamala back in office to bring some solution, to bring some kind of solution to this problem. 9 years, and the Ministry of Health spent over $100 billion, and we don't have no good health system in this country.
For real. And then no
good health system.
The Hanover building, the first floor ain't even complete properly. Behind them?
It ain't even the
first floor.
And they want to jam Tanti Kamala. And they want to jam Tanti Kamala.
Yeah.
Penny.
They
said 100 days up, and they fail in 100 days.
Thank you. Penny said that?
But them had kept Penny said, they fail in 100 days.
Why it is you think she would say that? I understand why she said that. You know why? Because in her mindset, no matter how qualified you are in this country, you cannot be a businessman, you can't be an architect, you can't be an engineer. Your responsibility is to follow PNM and cut grass. That is your work. And drink Guinness when they rally.
And when your children reach after, what you going to leave behind for your children and them?
They will get the straight cutlass that they was using.
They inherit that?
That is what them comfortable.
That's what they inherit?
That is what they leave. That is what them comfortable leaving people.
Well, better they just take off all them name and them PNM street and put them Gilpin Junction. 3-line road Gilpin Junction.
Well, one more
because it's really sad.
It's sad. It's sad.
It's sad to see after so many years under the PNM, the people that vote for them mostly is under real pressure. Look the UNC. Look, they say June and July, them UNC MPs and them take the 2 months salary and buy books for all the children in the constituency.
Partners.
And when you go in the UNC constituency, you're not seeing UNC people, you're seeing citizens of the community.
Thank you. Because UNC, as we say, doing holistic governing. Them dealing with everybody holistically.
My MP give out over 300 children.
Thank you.
Book bag. Everything. When you're going in a UNC office, they offer you a cup of tea and they ask if you had breakfast, if you want something to eat.
Thank you.
When you go in the PNM office, they tell you they want you to be a propagandist. And they will put you in every YouTube channel to spread propaganda.
Yes.
That's what they're telling you.
Yeah. Two things you're guaranteed to get from that. You're getting a brand new straight cutlass and you get a hamper to go home. That is you.
No, and what's it having the hamper? That the PNM give people a hamper for the COVID, right?
Yeah.
It had Popeye. It had Popeye. It had breadfruit. You know Popeye was ripe and rotten.
Yeah.
It had breadfruit. When the people have getting breadfruit, then they reach home and ripe. And they give people cassava.
Yeah.
They give people cassava and they tell them is what they're giving the people and them. And then when they one next one, they tell them they double dipping.
Yeah, you double dipping.
They tell them they double dipping. You spend over $4 billion. You spend over $4 billion in hampers. And when a mother of 5 or 6 in a home, you give them one. How long that will last them?
For real. For real.
It had no rice, it had no peas in it. But it had breadfruit, it had dasheen, it had cassava.
Yeah.
It had Popeye. You put a chicken in it. You put a pack of milk in it.
For real. For real.
And when Auntie Kamala giving each one of them $500 a month for a single mother who have a baby, all they telling them they're wasting money. And all they take away that from them. All they take away $2,500 from the civil policy children, the most vulnerable. All they take away 18,000 food cards from citizens of this country and give back 6,000. And for election, they tell them we're going to double it. If you take away 18,000 food cards from the people,
yes,
give back 6. And election time, you tell them you're going to double it. And that's only 12,000.
For real.
You still take away 6,000 more.
For real.
And fool the people with that. And fool the people that tell us that this country only need food card and hampers. No, we need representation.
Yes.
We need opportunity.
Thank
we
you.
want to go forward in life.
Thank
we
you.
want to leave a legacy for the future of the country.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Felix.
Yes, big brother. Thanks for that contribution again, man. And this is Red. Red, something wrong with your head off. Red, I can't doctrine all teaching people out here. Let's look at any comment section and see what's going on with Red. Red, I think conversation all get with people with you. Kamala still not high no like bottom African. Kamala never tell nobody she high like bottom African. But we have some African that she higher. Them in bottom African. John Jeremy, you know, like bottom African. Roger Alexander and that. We have some African body place, man. I still fitting in McGill Khadija and all because she makes. Let's good afternoon, caller. Is this thing? Bless good afternoon, caller. Bless good afternoon, caller. Now about 3 people up on this call here. Bless good night. I know who is that. Well, I got a call back. That group got a call back. I got a group call, David. Yeah. Take on them. Now, I don't take on them now. Now, I don't take on them. Listen what is really happening here. This is why it is when we talk, we just talk straight facts. You understand? Me have to come here to sugarcoat nothing for you. I sit back and listen to a gentleman, PNM having meeting, you know. PNM spend the most amount of money and give back the least amount of service to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And this man was more focused on when it's Calypso Fiesta, the Calypsonians and them go attack the UNC. Like somebody care about the Calypsonians then? So you up here boasting about Croker and them? That is your conversation there? The PNM run the country down to the ground. Over $144 billion, 2.6 this way, 13 billion so. All different type of money unaccounted for. And the conversation that PNM threatening the UNC and the UNC supporters with is when it's Calypso Fiesta. We go see what's going on with the Calypsonians and them when they start to sing and bash the UNC. How about if Calypso Fiesta have nobody in the Fiesta? You think the Calypsonians and them go be able to sing and bash anybody? Because we don't know the PNM supporters and them does only go free thing is free ticket. This year they just might have to buy the ticket. So how about if Calypso Fiesta seen that only don't give the heads up? So then we as UNC, thank you, we go keep away. And with PNM not being in power, only had no free ticket to give out. While people seriously trying to figure out what really going on us, what going on. Only back and forth, up and down, talking a set of big boy talk. Basic question I asking, how the Indian community was able to navigate out of all of this dotishness in the middle of a corrupt government. Listen what the caller say. They started the school with bamboo. Today now, when you hear results coming out from Azra girls, them racial. Basic school at Africans in the school too, you know, but just the name, some of them can't take. Just the name. Well, you hamper with me wrong. I sit back and I listen to a lot of conversation in this country. And brothers and sisters, today is Blessed Sunday. To my African population, to my East Indian brothers and sisters, the Syrian and the Chinese, and even the Spanish people in this country. Those of us who understand that here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. To the Africans that continue to support the PNM and only believe that that is only salvation. 65 years they ain't save all, they will save all now. They borrow over $144 billion. That wasn't enough money. They leave only with a penny. That is enough change. 144 billion couldn't do it. But a little bit of change from penny, that is enough. Only come on and stop trying to take people for idiots now. Boy. Trinidad and Tobago is a unified nation. Don't vex with Africans, especially African like myself. See what going on? You see what going on? Felix Indian people just eat little and live long. And that is a doctrine me and my family does live by. You see what's going on? And why it is you feel Ramki soon Pop Daddy? Ramki soon and Pop Daddy to bring down nobody, you know. Ramki soon put up that day because it needs to be known. Because it just might have a young Indian person who don't know that piece of information. That is not what Africans do. If you say African, especially when the former administration was there, Africans, we need to eat little and live long, you're fighting on the government. Africans, we need to talk to the government to get the school fixed. You're fighting on the government. Africans only need to talk to the government. Look, the African investment, Exxon investors come in the country. What the Prime Minister doing about it? He send the people and them back. He send them back because African people can't do business in his eyesight. Have a whole goat farm, a sheep farm in Tobago. African people can't do business. Business is only for the Rowley family. The Matthew surname, the Felix surname, the Rogers, the Clints, and all these names and them is of no value. Rowley is the only African name that's supposed to be representing anything in this country. Other than that, is Young or Alwari. These is the kind of names. And today we're sitting with a government, with Indian leadership, who have no problem with the pronunciation of John Jeremy, Mr. Roger Alexander, Khadija Amin, Anil Roberts. Listen, have no problem with the pronunciation. Just as how she could tell you Lakram Budu, and she could tell you Ananram Logan, have no problem pronouncing the names. You know why? Because collectively all of us come together to play a part. You see how them sitting in government and running the government collectively, all of them come together to play a part. Nobody don't have no time to watch nobody ethnicity. You have to be a damn fool to sit down and watch David Lee ethnicity and try to figure out, I wonder if he's really a Chinese. We get about that. Partners, as soon as the budget done read and you get your quota, you're heading out to organize houses, you and Anil and we boy Philip Alexander. Because this is the kind of conversation that we want. You're listening to the conversation from local government. So I want, by the time local government come, we give Khadija Amin, based on the type of conversation and the type of investment that she talking about making when it comes to the corporation and the councillors. No, we reach to the point that we had to get justice for we money. We had to get justice for we money. Listen where Red asks. What? Red, listen to me. Why everything had to be racial for you? But state boards or any Africans in charge. We are talking about the political leader of the United National Congress. That is an African. Stop talking and asking rubbish questions now, boy. Nobody cares about them thing all asking, boy. I tell you that Miss Kamala Prasad Bissessa, and I'm repeating this one more time for the night. I go there. I go with you already read. Miss Kamala Prasad Bissessa, in this 100 days, represented the African community way more better, way more respectful than the African-led Prime Minister, which is Mr. Rowley. That's facts. What I like with where Trinidad and Tobago is at right now, our Indian brothers and sisters walking with their head up high, and by African people doing it too. All you feel we missed the comment earlier on. One of we own people put it up, and it is the truth what they put up. Because when PNM in office, the Indian people just be quiet and allow them to do what they have to do. The opposition does do their part. But Indian people on the whole does mind their business, them going back out to work. Wherever we have to scrape, we go make it. We don't know it's nothing for we. And worse if we identify that we is UNC. Talk to we there, KFC. Talk to we.
Oh, Mr. Phillips, you know, on tomorrow?
No, tomorrow, please, you Lord, I don't got to clear something.
I'm not very biased.
Yeah.
But Mr. Felix, not rolling around Phil African people, you know. Eric Williams, Robinson, all of us black leaders, you know, Mr. Felix. You have to be real, you know.
Yeah.
What they do for black people in the community like East West Corridor and 14 PNF.
Yeah.
When I go down in Port of Spain, I see Duncan Street, Nelson Street, and East West Corridor there.
Yes.
It looks like a lavas, like a mini lavas.
Oh,
The
yeah.
place dilapidated, it break down, and that place never take the PNM.
Yes.
That's why I said I'm going to in Library and your constituency point 14. That is a PNM stronghold.
Yes.
And the Lego of that place. So people in my constituency still holding on to that wickedness and that carelessness, you know.
Yes, man.
But like they're not children now. This election is not about you, Mr. Philip. You can go anytime. You guys looking for a better future for the children and the younger generation to come.
Yes.
And we know, we see the performance for 2010 to 2015 on that Kamala Prasad Bissessa government. Like I said, the one.
For real.
They deliver more than the PNM. But Mr. Phillips, we take care of the nation road and we try to safe.
Yes,
and
man.
all the staff and I mean the man.
Thank you much.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you much. And let me just make one more touch on red here. Here a red put up. Let me put it on the screen here, right? And let me just do this breakdown before I lock off here. All the colonial masters watching and laughing at all are we. No. Red, they're laughing at you because you is a PNM. Let me tell you what I make the colonial masters and them watch we and laugh at we. Right? The other day a conversation with $2.6 billion came up. Right? And when the $2.6 billion came up, it only came up because the Auditor General saw discrepancies in paperwork that was handed to her. So the former Minister of Finance, which is Mr. Com Imbert, he and his team explained that it was a mistake that they make, right? That was their conversation. They made a mistake. Now, while that mistake took place, they also tried to turn the population against the Auditor General. So bloggers like myself and others had to come up and clarify for Trinidad and Tobago. Hold on your hand. As much as the government's supposed to be working on our behalf, the Auditor General don't work on the government behalf, it work on the people behalf. And if the auditor is explaining that we having a problem, no, well then we have to support the auditor. And ladies and gentlemen, we watch the conversation, we watch the former Prime Minister, which is Rowley, because Churchill was no Prime Minister. We watched the former Prime Minister try to make the lady law she walk. And on top of that, they took the matter so far, they took it straight to the Privy Council. And the Privy Council had to explain to the PNM lawyer, the PNM representative, that listen to me, all they had to be dumb, drastically stupid, or 100% dotish down in Trinidad and Tobago to try to bring the Auditor General before the court. Or they're trying to take the woman work. And on top of that, all the woman is actually doing is her work by inquiring the discrepancies when it comes to this $2.6 billion. The PNM take money now. While they are at it, they try to minus the Privy Council and try to tell us that the Caribbean Court of Justice should be we last stop. Now, had the people of Trinidad and Tobago fall for that, then we colonial masters would have been laughing at us. What happened is that the people of Trinidad and Tobago continue to be on top of things, right? This is why today we don't sit with a PNM government. This is why today the people of Trinidad and Tobago don't support Rowley, they don't support Penelope Beckers, Marvin Gonzalez, whether it's Brian Manning, or you could call the next one, where's the cold pot one name by and then the next one, nobody lives there, and she next friend who forgets she come down Trinidad and Tobago's business is a set of jokers these people and them have. And then these next set of jokers now just come up on our page and put these type of comments like we have not been minding our business. Ladies and gentlemen, when we tell you yellow is the code, my name is ladies and gentlemen. We in this together. We in this together. You know why? Because it's my responsibility to keep the relevant information before you. So just in case you forget, just in case you really forget, listen to this before we go, ladies and gentlemen.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinidad wins.
And it's that. When UNC win, everybody win. When UNC win, Trinbago win. Right? UNC speaking the type of politics to uplift Trinidad and Tobago. Every single person in the PNM who tell you that UNC don't have a plan, they have no manifesto, your responsibility is to get your hand on a couple of these manifestos. If you don't have that, you would be under the impression that your government live in the rain. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends, what wrong with the red coat? Everything wrong with the red coat. Again, it's your boy Irvin. I must continue to send out some love to my UNC family. Brothers and sisters, family and friend, tomorrow, please, the Lord, I had the pickup. I must thank my brothers and sisters who reach out to me. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, I have a big load and I reach $4,000. So I know I'm going to need a little more money. So again, if the Lord laid upon your heart in the morning and you could shoot down some help for us, we could do with that. Again, you could use the same number here and make the contact, because all you know the support here, all you know the conversation here is each one help on a chain is only as strong as its wicked link. And being a good person is not an option, but that's the only option in today's society. I'm drinking my water. We go drink water and mind me business. We mind me business in Trinidad and Tobago. So, brothers and sisters, let me stay focused. Let me stay blessed to the African community. The Indian man, oh, you're not the Syrian man is not your enemy. Your enemy is actually Miss Penelope Beckers and she PNM. Right? Let me stay focused and let me stay blessed. I'm continuing to send some love to my member of parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. When I tell you I cannot afford to be playing those games, I must continue to ask God to cover my member of parliament. My member of parliament does fight so hard. He does fight till he lost his work. He just fight till he lost his work. So when I tell you all the Trinidad and Tobago is in good hand, Miss Kamala Prasad Bisesa, give he and Mr. Munilal and the team, or they go and get this refinery back up and running, see what's going on with the union man, or let make sure and keep you updated, let me keep this thing flowing, or let prepare the workers and them to go back out to work. And let me tell you something, Mr. Kiza, don't like to fail. Let me tell you something, failure is not an option. Based on what we Prime Minister saying, failure is not an option. Based on what Ms. Khadija saying, failure is not an option. When you're talking about health with Mr. Buru, failure is not an option. So if the energy sector, failure is not an option. The education sector, failure is not an option. In security, the failure is not an option. Brothers and sisters, supporting me Prime Minister, and we Prime Minister put Ravi Ratiram, and we saying failure is not an option. So our responsibility is to mind our business. Again, the fact is 80% of the food that is consumed on a daily basis is being purchased outside of Trinidad and Tobago. As much as we thank the businessmen and the businesswomen who bring in the food, there is a different direction for you to make investment. It's time for we to uplift the agriculture sector in Trinidad and Tobago. All them jokers and them who complaining about fireworks and fireworks and fireworks and fireworks and talking all this independent talk, that conversation not making no sense. It's either you're quarreling about school book or you're independent. Make up your mind. You don't try to make we members of parliament take the salary, not because your members of parliament and do it. Try to make we members of parliament take the salary to buy books, to maintain our vibes, and then you're trying to tell we know you're independent, you want to wine, you want to have the cake, eat the cake, and then take a pity of the cake after you're done eating the cake. You see that dotishness and that stupid type of mentality while promoting, we cutting it off. Point 14 senior. Big up to Mr. Ernesto Kiza and his dad. And I sending out love to him, his family, the management, the staff, the entire team. And I'm doing that for the whole administration. Tobago, you feel we have enough love for you? We have much love for Tobago too. Much respect for Tobago too. Much respect to every single person. Ladies and gentlemen, we in this together. I know what's going on here. Is each one help on? Don't let nobody misguide you or misinform you. Because let me tell you something. PNM field thief is our work. That's hey. Once you see some kind of comments here, I like that too. You'll be thief is our work. One more thing before I go. Before we leave out of here. And next week looking to start tomorrow, please the Lord. So it's a fresh set of conversation about CPEP, a fresh set of conversation about URP. I want all the PNM supporters. I want all of to call all the members of parliament. Call them up. Call Jennifer Frederick. Call the lion pastor, fat bastard. Call all of them for me. Here what you're doing for me. All they have a collective meeting with these people and them. The same day, I listen to Lion Pastor. He tell we CPEP is 15,000. Jennifer Frederick says 30,000. Faris Alwari on the same day said it's 15,000. So it seems to me like nobody in the PNM kept track of the people who actually was going to work in CPEP, URP, and Forest Reserve. And to me, that is a blatant disrespect that after so long this conversation start, this whole matter before the court already. Matter of fact, right now, that matter before the DPP. And not one person in the PNM could give us an accurate figure of how much people was actually physically working in CPEP on a daily basis. All you need to cut out that stupidness. Ladies and gentlemen, again, it's all your boy Irvin. I want to tell all you have a blessed remainder of the night. It's nothing but love, nothing but blessing, nothing but peace. And again, I'm sending out love to my Prime Minister, to my boy Clyde, Mr. Clyde Elder. Labre, big up yourself, big up yourself, big up yourself. All you know, we must send out some love to we boy Pararat. You know, we are playing with that. Barry Pararat, big up yourself. Mr. Saddam Hussein, big up yourself. And all the rest, oh God. Oh God, all you know, we can't leave out we boy Anil Roberts. Anil Roberts don't play. So in the morning, please the Lord, remember you're starting with we boy Andy and the team. Ladies and gentlemen, with the ground report. While that going on, you know the Douglas politics, the Douglas out and about, the Douglas in breaks, and the thing is about information. It's about keeping people updated and keeping you informed. While that going on, we still are breaking down to in the morning. While we running, ladies and gentlemen, you know you're catching your boy Irvin. You know we are Opinion Box. We are we boy Stark Entertainment. Jason the silver. We have people out and about doing the thing. We boy Ravi Figaro from Point 14. Don't get tied up. It have people out and about making sure that the information spread. While you at it, don't forget TC and Heavy down in the afternoon. All you know is ask all to pray for we boy Ian Allen, and we praying for Hunter Search and Rescue, the 2 teams. We praying for them too. Because ladies and gentlemen, them covering some kind of ground and Ian Allen and them just touch some kind of story, whether I like them or not. These people just deal with some kind of things. I don't know how they just go and sleep when the night reach. But by the grace of God, let me pray God that God continue to comfort them and they continue to do the work that they have been doing for the longest. Again, while we at it, brothers and sisters, don't forget your boy Irvin with Real Talk tomorrow, please the Lord. We go be off the grid, but we go do a night show tomorrow, please the Lord too. Because you know we're going to collect something, and this is what it is about. It's about keeping informed. So always big people. So see that I wouldn't be up tomorrow, please the Lord. I say let me do a Sunday. Let me do a Sunday. Let me talk a little bit. Let me stay focused and let me stay blessed. Remember, unity is strength and strength is power. Remember, we continue to stand with Ms. Kamala Posad Bisesa, the UNC and the Coalition of Interest. Remember, we standing with Boy Farley and the team over there in Tobago. TPP, the anchor have hold. And only when the anchor hold, the ship can't go nowhere. So Tobago in good hands, Trinidad in good hands. We the people, we must stay focused. We must mind our business and understand that we have a role and a responsibility to play a positive part. So here it is. All your eye out until we meet again. Tomorrow, please, the Lord, is all your boy Irvin. I love all you.
There is no limit to the things we can achieve together. Unity. The quality or state of not being multiple. Oneness.
See you tomorrow, please, the Lord.
Easily the mind on the voice to get to youths. Ravi B.